Science offers lots of opportunities to everybody. If you are good at coding, then you should, I think, polish your skills, be a very hardcore programmer. But in case a student is not very good at programming, I won't say uh, that it's the end of the world. Like today.
Hello, ma'am. I am Hirambo Patil from PVG's College of Engineering, and very thank you that you joined today.
Most welcome.
Almost everyone in our college in first year uses Python programming using problem-solving approach to study Python. And to be honest, everyone very much likes to read that book and to study Python from that book. Everyone, literally everyone in our college is very excited to watch this discussion with you. First of all, when I saw your profile, first question that comes to my mind is, how was your journey from being a computer application student to being an author in Oxford Press?
Have you heard about Dr. Thareja? Have you read his electrical engineering book?
Yes, I think yes.
So he's my grandfather.
Oh,
so he's
okay.
already a well-known author, yes. So when I was doing my MCA, and he at that time he told that if you want to learn a subject, you must write a book on it. And he was always there to motivate us to get into this book writing, because it really helps. See, when you are studying a syllabus, your studies is very limited. When you are teaching a subject, you are doing only your covering your guidelines, basically, whatever you are supposed to teach. So he always used to say, to have a better understanding, always think about writing a book so that in detail you cover that subject. So that is what actually he's the one who motivated me to go in this.
Okay. Now coming to coding, which is your area of expertise, do you think that people who are learning to code should only pursue programming and coding, or do you think that they should also learn things like theoretical computer science or other computer science concepts, and how important are they?
See, by God's grace, this field is ever expanding. So not everybody is good at coding. So computer science offers lots of opportunities to everybody. If you are good at coding, then you should, I think, polish your skills, be a very hardcore programmer. But in case a student is not very good at programming, I won't say that it's the end of the world. Like today, we have low code AI, then no code AI. So and then you have cyber security applications, so many applications, so many tools you have. So where no coding is allowed, is required. So then there is testing. At least if you can understand a program written by somebody else, you can at least do a thorough testing. So theoretical concepts knowledge is required, definitely, but it's not that if you don't understand the coding, so there is no scope in computer science. Like if you go to blockchain, if you go to other not IoT, but yes, blockchain, cloud computing, there theoretical concepts are required, but no hardcore programming and no complex details are required. So I think there lies the scope.
In computer science, and if we look towards uh, the programs which are generally computer engineering, or even in some colleges BSc computer science, so those the syllabi of those courses contains a lot of material from hardware of computer science, which includes kind of a lot of electronics related stuff like microprocessors on. So how important it is actually in career for a person?
If you can understand hardware part, it is very good. Nothing like that, because then you can do programming more efficiently, that synchronizes your code with the hardware properly. But in case not everybody is good at everything, so in case you are not able to understand the hardware part of it, at least concentrate in the programming part, because like we also teach assembly language programming with MASM and TASM. then you would be surprised to know we can very easily embed your assembly code in C++. So you don't have to
Mhm.
worry. Your assembly language code can if you're going for hardware optimization or efficiency problems, then that assembly part can take care of all those things, and then your C++ part can take the you know your
Yes.
programming part can be seen by C++ as a software
Mhm.
programmer. So it's again, it's very good if you can understand hardware. If you cannot understand, even then that's not an issue. I think, see, students from electronics and background, I think they are the ones who can study the hardware in greater depth. So
Mhm.
MCA, BSc, BCA, and BSc students should focus more on programming part if they are not able to understand the hardware part.
Yes, and I've noticed that you are co-founder of a organization or something called Jruma, right? Am
Yeah.
I pronouncing it right?
Yes, Druma.
Yeah, so I visited that website and it deals with gamification of education using technology. So, we, as compared to other questions I've asked till now, it's a little bit different topic, I think. But can you explain that?
Thank you so much for asking this question. Actually, see, I was very, I mean, it used to hurt me really when I was, whenever I'm traveling in metro, I see, and my students think they are like addicted to Instagram and Facebook and other social media sites.
Hmm.
So I thought of developing an app in which students can, really learn and enjoy. So that's a quizzing app. Basically, you can challenge yourself and before challenging others. So that is our
Hmm.
main aim. Like whenever you have free times, only 2 minutes, go to the app. You can select a topic right from class 1 to
Hmm.
UG, PG, and you can use it for interview questions also. You can just select the topic. You can also select how many questions do you want. You want a 5 question quiz, you want a 50 question quiz, you want a 10 question quiz, you can choose it, right?
Yes.
And then you can have that quiz. You can play it and you can see the score. So it becomes addicted. Like we also want to increase our score, and even
Yes.
as
Yes.
a classroom teaching we are using, like when students are uh, like when we start the
Hmm.
class, 5 or 10 minutes just goes in settling down. So at that time, to make them settle down fast, I tell them, come on, sit down fast and we'll have a small quiz, say of 10 questions. It is not going to take more than 1 or 2 minutes. So students are very excited to take part. And then to promote learning, we are also giving incentives. Like we have a dashboard that mentions
Hmm.
top 10 scorers of the week, and then we
Yeah.
give them 50 rupees each. So every week we are giving only 500 rupees, and
Hmm.
in a month it's only 2000 rupees. So for me, 2000, giving 2000 is like nothing,
Yeah.
but because I'm giving it back to the society, I've got a lot.
Hmm.
And I'm very happy to see that students are really taking it very seriously and they
Hmm.
are enjoying it. So
Yes.
basically, I would request all the listeners to please download Juma. It's a free mobile app on iOS and Android, and learn through quizzing. I mean, you can select a chapter, you can see the highlights of the chapter, you can see, you can do fill-ups, you can do MCQs, true and false types of questions, so that you are learning at your own pace, even while traveling or you're just sitting idle. Give 5 minutes to Juma. So slowly you will get addicted to quizzing.
Yes, that's great. And now, moving to a little bit moving towards research papers. So, do you think that students should explore research articles and research paper more to improve their or increase their knowledge, and or they should focus more on just software development or things like that?
See, it's totally up to you. Totally up to you. What you do, just do whatever you wish to do, I would say. Like,
Mm.
see, some students are hardcore programmers. Some students are interested in data science part. They want to do MBA.
Mm.
So, though for those students, I would say instead of focusing on software, you go for some data analytics. Do some research work. Like, I would like to share. I had some. I'll tell you what research we are doing. Like after COVID, if I go and ask my students, "Are you into depression?" Nobody would say yes. But what I'm doing is, I've asked my students to make a set of questionnaires. We have a
Yes,
questionnaire
yes.
design, and we are asking students to fill it with the help of an expert, so that we
Mm.
can identify who all students are into deep depression, and then we can see how we can counsel them, like what help we can give them,
Mm.
a
Right.
proper counseling or a proper guidance, right? So we are collecting data and analyzing it. We are applying all
Mm.
NLP, because there are MCQs and then there are short answers types. So the short answers will be analyzed through NLP. What most they are talking, what are their sentiments behind it. So we are
Mm.
using it. In this way, students is using computer science knowledge plus analytics part. Then we
Yes.
have we are supposed to offer some add-on courses. We collect data
Mm.
from the students, what are their interests, and then as per their interest we offer them courses. um,
Mm.
we, See, I'll give you one example. We had elections in 2020 in Delhi. You must
Yes.
have heard there is always a tough competition, and
Yes.
there's
Yes.
always a war between BJP and Aam Aadmi Party.
Yes. Yes.
BJP said that the water quality is very poor in Delhi, and Aam Aadmi Party denied it. So
Mm.
obviously, as a voter, I don't know what is right and what is wrong. So what
Right.
we did is we went to the nearby hospitals. We collected data, like how what diseases are, for what diseases patients are coming these days, and we
Mm.
found that water-related diseases were the patients related to waterborne diseases were more these days as
Mm.
compared to last year's data.
Yes.
So after doing this data analysis, we found that yes, water was quality was actually not good in that area. So this is so even you can find out what is the like if there's an election, who's going to win. So there are a lot
Mm.
of things that so
Yes.
small
Yes.
projects we keep giving to the students.
Mm.
Yeah.
Nice. That's interesting. Uh, Now, my friend Rohan would like to join this podcast, my co-host. Rohan is a very keen person. He's a person who is very keenly interested in machine learning and data science. So he will also be very glad to discuss with you. So I would like to invite Rohan.
See, I would like to add one, two, three topics more. Like the projects we are doing for research work in our college. Like we are making
Hmm.
chatbots. You know, you must have noticed when freshers come every year,
Hmm.
uh, you're sitting in a lab, they will come to you, ma'am, where is that teacher? Whom should I
Yes,
contact
yes,
regarding late payment of fees? And there are
yes,
hundreds of
yes.
questions. So you cannot work. It's like
Hmm.
we have opened a help desk. Everybody will come and
Yes, yes.
disturb. So what we have done this year, I have given this project to my students that we want a chatbot before August,
Hmm.
before the next session starts, so that it is deployed. Whatever queries the students have, we have those questions and we have the corresponding answers.
Hmm.
So this is how we are helping the college with our NLP
Yes.
skills, right? Then we are doing one research that is analyzing factors that enhance students performance.
Okay.
uh, so this will be very helpful for
Hmm.
the students themselves. They can predict their marks and they can see uh, which
Hmm.
direction their performance is going. ठीक है, because this is under publication, so I'm really excited to talk about it, but can't
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Then we had done one research for women entrepreneurship. Like ours is a girls' college,
Hmm.
so government has launched many schemes to promote
Hmm.
women entrepreneurship. They are giving so many loans and they are giving so much other infrastructure wise as well
Yes,
as
yes.
knowledge. So
Hmm.
we wanted to ask how many girls are interested. Are they aware about their schemes? What they
Yeah.
can do? What are their dreams? So that we can connect them with the particular department. So this we
Hmm.
have done. This was a very helpful research. So if you see the you can take the research to a very big level, but to start with,
Hmm.
as a student, you try to find out problems at in your own college and see how you can help with your knowledge to other your peer group. So
Hmm.
these are some
Right.
in-house projects,
Yes.
right? Small
Yeah, it's very
projects. Then
interesting. It's actually very interesting to see applications of computer science in real life.
yes, definitely.
Yes. Yes. So I would like to invite my friend Rohan to have further discussion.
Hello, ma'am. So let me first introduce myself. My name is Rohan. And I would just say that I am very grateful to have this podcast with you. Actually, ma'am, I'm just in first year of engineering, but I have started learning about machine learning and the other data science stuff. And I also checked out your research papers on Google. There is a site, ResearchGate, and it actually fascinated me very much. There is concepts about data warehouse and the models that other businesses use for analyzing data and then predicting. So I would like to ask some of these questions about it.
Yes. But before
So
you start, I would really like to say I really
yes,
like this initiative, and in
yes,
fact, after seeing this, I am also planning to start such have such an initiative in my college. This is a
okay,
wonderful job. You're helping so many students.
yes,
So congratulations, first of all, and I'm
yes,
very and amazed to see that you are first year students. So
yes,
your
yes.
zeal and is worth
Yes, ma'am.
appreciations.
Yes. Thank you
Yeah.
very much, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, so AI is a very vast field and it requires knowledge about many stuff, theoretical stuff. There are concepts about math and there are concepts about programming. Much of it is too much to cover for someone who just wants to start. So, how would an interested student start in this field?
See, AI is a very vast field. You are correct.
Yes.
Go step
Yes.
by step, very slow.
Mm.
So not in a hurry because you have 4 years. So first, theoretical knowledge of theoretical concepts is required, so that you will understand uh, why you are doing it, how you are doing, and then basically in the coming semesters you will be implementing those problems using Python, probably using Python,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Ma'am.
So it will be a very easy journey, don't worry. So start so have a good knowledge about your theoretical concepts. See, in case not because we have so many books from foreign authors, so
Yes,
at
ma'am.
times it is difficult to interpret what
Mhm.
exactly they are saying. So there are many videos. Even my students have faced this problem. So for
Mm.
preparing gate exam, AI is a very
Yes, ma'am.
important subject. So you
Okay.
can go through their YouTube videos. Those are very nice.
Okay.
And they're in
YouTube.
native language also. So I think you
Yes.
can go
Yes.
through it. And then if you understand the theoretical concept, only then you can go to
Mm.
programming. So
Okay.
as I said before also, in case you are able to understand the theoretical concept, but you are not able to implement it yourself, then you can go for low code, ya fir no code AI. There are many AI tools. For example, like Hiram talked about
Yes.
research.
Yes, ma'am.
In research, while writing research, plagiarism is something very important.
Mm.
Only 10% plagiarism is permitted, and that too, that,
Yes.
that does not mean you will have 10%. We have to
Mm.
somewhere stop at 7 or 8.
Okay.
So there are tools like for paraphrasing. Like if I'm taking a line from this particular research article and I
Mm.
am not able to rephrase it, so there is an AI tool that will rephrase
Mm.
it for me.
Okay.
That too in correct English, syntactically and semantically, it does not change the meaning. So there are so
Okay.
many things. Like if
Mm.
this is a Zoom meeting, we are talking, but somebody
Yes.
does not have time to go through this 1 hour Zoom meeting or 45-minute meeting. So there are
Yes.
AI tools that will summarize this meeting, uh,
Mm.
and give you a paragraph, say what were the important highlights in this meeting. So
Mm.
these are
Yes.
the
Yes.
applications of AI, right?
Mm.
Text summarization, voice meeting summarization, video. You can have a video and then they can summarize what were the main things that were shown. So
Mhm.
AI is so vast and so
Yes, ma'am.
amazing, basically. Yeah. You won't believe, in schools now they have started teaching AI from class 9th and 10th, right?
Oh,
So you
okay.
can understand the vision of the people. They want us to have
Mm.
our students ready when they come to the college. They should have the basic knowledge about AI. So
Yes. Yes.
every
It's
student has to learn it in school.
yes. It's actually very interesting that some schools have started AI as a subject
Yeah.
in the ninth standard itself.
Hmm.
And ma'am, actually, you mentioned something about plagiarism in especially in the research articles. So can you
Yes.
elaborate on that a bit? So how do you cite a paper from other sources, and then how do you develop upon that idea to present? If you have a new theory about some concept, then how do you begin with a research article?
See, if I have an idea, I will read at least few papers
Okay.
that are published in that area, so that I can ensure that my idea has not been worked upon before. It's a
Mhm.
fresh idea. And then see, when we read the papers, 5 or 10 similar papers, we get an idea how to write it. Basically, the topics are same. Like, first you have to give an introduction, then you have to do the literature review. In literature review, you have to say what has been already been done, and then you have to talk about what you are proposing, and then you have to write the conclusion and references part. So you have, whatever you are reading, you have to write it in your language. It's not,
Yes.
you cannot, you can take the idea, but you have to, even if you're taking a sentence, you have to rephrase it. Either you
Mhm.
can do it yourself, or otherwise there are tools, right?
Mhm.
See, you are talking about research papers. I will also add
Yes.
here one more thing. Don't confine yours, because you are very young minds, you have a lot of ideas. So don't confine yourself to research papers. Think about getting your ideas patent also. Like,
Okay.
see, suppose you have an idea, uh, and these days to get a patent on IoT related topic is very easy, because
Yes.
IoT is
Yes.
the topic which is very expanding very fast. So in fact,
Mhm.
I have already filed 3 patents, and then I'm in a process to file another 2 patents in the coming month, the next one
Okay.
month. So whatever idea you have, if you know how to implement it, then that is very good. Just write
Mhm.
that also, how it can be implemented. If you cannot implement it, at
Mhm.
least make a make a report, ki why this idea is important, how it can help, what is the current problem, how this idea can solve the problem. So, and then you can submit it at the Indian government website. So
Mhm.
it's not just about research papers. It is also about, and it takes only 1,600 rupees. You can talk to your teachers; they will guide you better
Okay.
how to file a patent also,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
reading a research paper, to write a research paper, you have to read
Mhm.
at least 5 or 10. Then you will get a basic idea. Okay, it is
Okay.
always. I always ask my students to do primary research. In primary research, you are collecting data yourself, and then
Mhm.
you are analyzing it. That is easier. In secondary research, you are already using data collected by others, so you have
Yes.
to add something more to it. Like, see, in my data warehousing research paper you just talked about, there
Yes.
were
Yes.
few parameters to determine the
Mhm.
quality of the data warehouse systems. I added few more, so that was my
Okay.
research. So,
Okay. So,
and I
ma'am, did you create new algorithms, or did you implement your ideas and
I
then?
had implemented, because my
Okay.
research, my PhD was on requirements. So I have collected what are the parameters for a good model, and then I have, using mathematical formulas, I had, and then consulting the consultants working in this area in the companies,
Mhm.
I had proved that it they are actually required. So that was the
Okay.
research part,
Okay. Okay. Ma'am, and also you mentioned
validated the
that.
parameters.
No, yes, the data parameters. So if there is a certain company, it's a startup, and they want to start their business in data analytics. So I read somewhere on Google that good data always better than having better algorithms with you. So how would a certain startup collect or obtain such data and compete with other big data companies like Google, or how would they gain insights and then make predictions?
See, getting data, to be very honest, is the most difficult thing. Getting good,
Yes.
we have to see, majority of the work that we as a researcher is doing is, we are spending most of our time in data cleaning only. So that is the most difficult part.
Mhm.
um, so yes, that is an issue. how to
Yes.
get that data. See, big companies like Google and Microsoft, they have so many applications. So
Yes.
for them, it is easy, but it is difficult
Yes.
for us.
Yes, ma'am. Exactly, because Google and they just acquire other companies if we are not
Yes.
competitive enough.
Hmm.
So they have
And
the upper hand on.
in Indian market, if you go, people are selling data like anything. That is why you must have
Yes.
heard last month government is becoming a little strict about data privacy and their
Yes, exactly.
data sharing, and
Yeah,
they're
cyber
trying
security
to
is
update the
increasing.
laws. Yeah.
Yes.
So data is being sold here.
Okay.
So they are selling
And
data in the market, but I don't know how genuine it is. So
yes,
that's a
there are
debate.
also many copyright issues, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Even
Okay.
big
And
companies are selling their data. You must have heard. Even geo
mhm,
data was leaked. There's
mhm.
the report said. I don't know what is exactly is the
Okay.
case. Yeah.
Geo data. Okay. Okay.
And Facebook data, we always keep on
Yes.
reading. Yeah.
Yes. There are many legal issues with that, ma'am.
Yes.
And you recently mentioned a while ago that for students, they generally start with Python, or there is even a concept called programming language called R. And also, there are many tools, AI tools, or other data tools. There is just so many things on the internet these days.
Yes.
And sometimes it becomes very confusing. So, what uh, steps should we adopt to begin with this vast field of programming?
See, because you're in the first year, first you try to figure out. The first thing I would say is first, whatever is being taught to you, you should
Mm,
have your concepts clear. If you're not able to write big programs on your own, it is
mm,
okay. You should know the
mm.
concept very well. At
Yes.
least small programs you should be
Mm,
able to write very confidently. Small programs, I repeat, because many companies are coming in our college for placement, and they are
mm,
saying this. We are asking very basic questions these days, but students do not know the basic concepts also. So be
mm,
very, see, if you are clear with your basic concepts and you are
mm,
not able to answer a very technical question, that is fine with the company, because in any case they have to give you a 3 month or a 6 month training before they give you some big project, right?
mhm,
So your basic concept should be very clear, first of all, whichever subject you are taking. Second, you figure out uh, what is your interest. You would like to, as a in your career, you would pursue, you would like to continue with C++, Java, Python, AI, ML. You can figure out. And I always recommend my students, and I would also say this to you.
mm.
See, every year, definitely go for internship. You have a 2 months
Yes.
break, vacation time.
Mm,
These, you are very privileged children that you can do online internship, right? So companies are even giving paid. There are paid internships and free internships. Please
mm.
go for that,
Yes.
so
Yes.
that you can see whether you are able to do this, you are able to fit yourself in this domain or not. So that's, if you're not, you can test another domain next time,
Mm,
right?
mm.
So don't worry at all, leave all your anxieties, enjoy your engineering period, just explore
Okay.
yourself, figure out,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
That is,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
no need
That
to
is
worry.
actually yes. Yes, that is actually a very good point that you just said. And also have
Hmm.
noticed when I talk with my seniors, second year or third year, when I talk to them about certain programming concepts, I have noticed that they understand how to write code in certain programming language, but they don't actually know the exact theory behind that code, or the exact. This is actually theoretical computer science, right? So should students also learn theoretical CS instead of just learning about how to write code? And if so, how would they
As in,
start with?
what is exactly theoretical CS?
Well, see, if there is an algorithm and there are certain steps, so they don't understand the logic behind those steps. They just write the
Okay,
code.
so you're
Hmm.
talking about, suppose, data structures, right?
Yes, yes.
So you suppose you understand binary trees, but you're unable to write the
Uh,
code. That is
yes,
what
yes,
you're saying?
exactly. Yes, yes.
Okay, not a problem. We were also like that when
Uh,
we were in college.
yes, yes.
See, uh, very honestly, I admit, keep I learned to do research work at the stage when my PhD was over. Because
Okay.
when we are into it, we are only exploring. And I could do a better research when my PhD was over. So it's like same. When we were also in college, we were also like in your position also, we also had the same queries. But don't worry, with time it will, you just keep on practicing, it will come. If you can understand the code, big codes, those data structure codes, even that is a big achievement, I would say.
Yes.
Uh,
Okay. Thank you, ma'am, very much.